unfortunately, once again, it's not something pleasant to do because we understand we need the services. We're patching instead of paving in the highway department. We're buying used equipment instead of new in the highway department. How many pieces of used equipment have you purchased? Just to use all used? Well,
truly, this year we bought 2 used snow plows, 2 used lawnmowers for the tractors, a used tractor. So we are buying. We're doing things differently. I'd love to go to state bid and buy new stuff.
Oh, absolutely. So, and make no mistake, we support the police 100%.
Also, in reference to the budget cut for 2010, is that going to involve putting both of the sergeants as patrolman duties and as sergeant duties?
No.
No?
No.
So there's still going to be 2 patrols?
Standalone sergeant and 2 patrols. So that's why I say if we have an emergency, you have 2 sergeants, 1 on days and 1 at 4 to 12, to help out the 2 officers that are out there on patrol. And so you can theoretically go from 2 patrols to 3 fairly quickly. If you need beyond that, then we're going to have to call for help from some other source, another police department in Orange County.
We have tried not to, and we haven't gotten into the day-to-day operations because your chief is your department head. We have not mandated or even interfered with the operation of the police department because we feel that they've done an excellent job. So, and they have, your police chief makes those decisions on how he moves people around and uses his resources, what he has to do. I mean, he's got a hard job and a lot of headaches. And I know he has the cooperation of all the rank and file. So, I mean, it's a good match. It's something we all have to do, and we're all trying to do.
Officer Edwards, when you read that statement, I just want to clarify something, because it's very important for the safety of the community. In that statement someplace you said something about being unable to respond at the same level. I don't know if you said it in that manner. I just want to make sure, because I just want to clarify something.
Well, from what I was told by the police chief, as far as budget reductions, both the sergeants were going to come back on the road and resume normal patrol duties along with sergeant duties. Now, if that was the case, then there would certainly be a reduction in staff and a reduction on the day tour and on the C-line tour to respond to calls.
Well, the reason I picked up on how you said it, and I wanted to clarify because the supervisor said, and so Phil says, we are not reducing the normal coverage of the 2+1. Your night shift will still be the same, so that's all taken care of. The second shift will still be the same. I'll call one the graveyard. The second shift. In the day shift, you still got the sergeant, 2 officers. And I know there's other officers that work, but that is the main core, so the response time should not be different.
I was under the impression from the chief that the sergeants were coming back on the road, and that was going to make up the cost cut from the overtime line and from the part-time.
All right. Well, at least we cleared that up.
I mean, that may be something that the chief is going to have to talk to Mr. Standish about in the budget. The numbers that I had in this analysis that we shared with the chief that he could pick and choose from, there's $150,000 in here without doing that. So I don't know. Maybe there's something else he put in somewhere else to take something else out. I really don't know, and I'd have to talk to the chief. I've not talked to him directly. As Mr. Cantorino said, we shared with the chief, we want $150,000 out. You're a professional policeman. We are not. Please tell us how you can do it, and that's what I guess Bill's got the numbers, so we'll transpose those numbers into what it is. But I can be mistaken. But,
getting back to so that sort of helps you a little bit more in understanding what we're doing about it.
Yeah.
No, I just want to clarify because,
and that's why I asked the question originally to clarify if the 2 sergeants were coming back on the road or if they're going to stay as their manager position.
Well, the reason I say this, Officer Edwards, sometimes a lot of rumors get out on the street. I mean, I've heard a lot of rumors that we're eliminating third shift.
Yeah.
We never had any intentions of eliminating third shift. And, sometimes bad press is not just when it's misinformation. So, anytime you want information, please come to this board and you'll get it right from us. That's all I'm trying to say. So this way, there's not misinformation out and down the street, because you serve the public, we serve the public, and I think yourself and the public deserve the actual event or whatever's happening. And I'm glad you made the statement, because we clarified something that we weren't aware of. So thank you.
Well, I appreciate that, and it's not aware. I did schedule a meeting and meet with Mr. Bloomfield 2 weeks ago to speak out some of these issues.
Well, Ray, you did, and I appreciated that very much.
Thank you.
But, by the way, I think we'll need to get clarification. I don't know the answer now to your question, because you have something, and we'll just need to talk to the chief. And hopefully he'll not be incapacitated long. I mean, it bothers me that he's not feeling well. So I would like to again share with the police department. You know, we are truly very proud of you. We have done everything in our power to quit from laying off somebody. When we left, when BOCES left our services back in January 2008, we had two positions there. One officer, Prisco, left our employment. He went to another department. The board talked about, well, we have one excess. Should we have a reduction of force? And we unanimously said, no. We'll use that person to offset overtime or this or that. Okay? And that was approved. We're not in the business. Once you sign the dotted line for full-time employment with the town of Goshen, it's not a job. We hope it's to be a career. Now, right now it's that way. Going forward into 2011, I'm very fearful. If we don't get a recovery as a nation, as a state, as a community, I don't know where it's going to come out at. I really don't. Okay? We'll wait and see. But I think with what we've done, Mr. Cantorino is the eternal optimist. Doug, this is a good budget. We're going to be okay in 2011.
We're going to have an upturn.
But I've talked to many supervisors in Warwick, New Windsor, Chester, Walk Hill, and like me, they're very fearful of what's going to happen in 2011. We put all our spare cash to offset taxes in 2010. There's none left. If we don't achieve one of these cost reduction plans, and we tax the public accordingly at the beginning in January, we're going to have to make it up. Because you can't borrow money to pay wages by New York state law. That's one thing the law says. Okay? So, but anyway, so we're in your corner. We want to work with you. We expect and hope that you'll work with us. And I kind of leave it at that, and we'll get clarification on this other thing from the chief.
Yeah, I appreciate your time.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Decrease talked as a budget cut. Just don't see that. Listen, 17.5% of America is out of work. Not 10%, but 17.5%. There are 7.5% people that have given up looking for work. The facts that you threw out regarding foreclosures are true. I investigate that full-time for a living. It's very difficult finding homes that are sold at arm's length anymore. They're all involved with some kind of bank intervention. Speaking personally, you guys all discussed your health benefits. As of next Friday, I don't have any, which is going to cost me $12,000 a year to pay. On top of, I don't know if I need to share how much I pay in taxes in Goshen, but it's considerable. I have had to build my own business. A good portion of the public who has been let go are scrambling to pay their taxes, to pay their mortgages, to pay their food, and to just have basic living conditions. So I'm pretty happy to hear that you guys are doing the best that you can to hold the line. One thing that does disturb me, though, why is the government exempt from letting people go? Why is it such a tragedy for the government to let people go when 17.5% of the United States has been let go. Why is this such a tragedy for the government? And I understand. Nobody wants to see any of the police go, any of the workers in the town go, and things have gone and grown over the years. We've become spoiled with the services we've been provided.